Welcome to the Blk Doctor Collective Podcast. We as Black doctors are in a unique position. We can change our communities, healthcare, and the world. Of course, we start by changing the way we see and value ourselves. I'm your host, Dr. Shanika Horn, pediatrician and physician coach, travel extraordinaire. I am so happy to have you here and listening. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, I'm recording this super early in the morning because, surprise, I have a flight to catch. And I love to have a million things to do the week that I'm leaving for something or right before a vacation. I don't know why or how, but somehow there's always like more things to do, and I'm always doing it the day I'm leaving or the night before. And I was in clinic all day yesterday. Alas, here we are. It's fine. You're still going to get the message. Welcome to another episode of the Blk Doctor Collective Podcast. This season, we have really been getting into the nitty-gritty, the how-to of negotiation. And the last couple episodes that I did solo, we talked about questions, both the questions to ask just generally when you're first doing your interview, and then also the questions that you want to ask for yourself specifically. And so you're just getting a good framework for how to go about an interview process, which is the start of your negotiation process, right? And of course, there's more detail to it. I'm giving you very top level information. Some of you will take that information and run with it. Fantastic. I love this for you. That's what I want, because if we all do it and we all drive up the market, it's beneficial for all of us. And then some of you will want more things or really want to get a better idea of what else to ask for, things that are specific to your case. When that happens, when you're like, I don't know what to say, and I would like to know what applies for me, and I'm asking for very specific things, or I want to calculate a certain way, or just things that you feel like you need assistance with, that's when you reach out to me and you join the Any Day Negotiator, which is a group program now, guys. Woo! Really pumped about this group program. And today we're going to get into the how of salary. So if you're listening and you're like, where is this going? We're going to talk about salary negotiation today, so stay tuned. But I just want to say, for the Any Day Negotiator group program, I invited all of my individual clients and then all of my new clients into a group with the intention of getting them even better, faster results. And so in this group, we have literally been able to talk about salaries, talk about negotiation. People are sharing stories about what to watch out for, red flags with recruiters, red flags with employers, things that they said, tried, asked for. It's just this really nice open conversation in a trusting environment where you get to tap into the resources. I always felt when I started the Blk Doctor that what was missing for a lot of us, because a lot of the doctors I know are first generation, are people of color, basically just trying to figure things out, was that we didn't have the network that some of these multi-generational doctors have, which is how to know what specialties to go into, what to apply for, how much to ask for, where to get good jobs. There's a lot of credit that we do not give to networking and having connections. And so this is something that I really have been passionate about establishing, is how do we create that for ourselves? We can't be out of the loop. We're in the field. The field is trash right now. The only way to change that, I think, is through community. And so this is why I'm super pumped about this new group program, rolling it out into a group. The conversations have been fire. I'm loving the stories. I'm going to share one of those stories with you today. And it's also, I share some of the stories on the podcast in general, some of the things that people have told me, things that I've learned. I'm learning from them. They're learning from me. It's a fantastic container. When you're ready to join us, you know what to do. You just message me. You can send me an email, theblkdoctor@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. Don't leave a comment in this YouTube if you're watching the video or on the podcast. I'm notoriously terrible at checking those. But if you have questions, please submit those. Okay. This week, we are really getting into the most commonly asked question, y'all. Everybody wants to know, how do I calculate salary? How do I know if I'm asking for enough, too much, because too much feels scary too. Not enough feels gross, like you feel underprepared or like you feel embarrassed. How do you know if you're being lowballed? How do you know when you're going in if what they've offered you is a fair rate? Number one question I'm getting, that's what people are submitting on the Instagram. People are submitting via email. Please keep the other questions coming. I would love to answer them, but I think for this week, this is what we're going to focus on because it is a hot topic. How do I know? Cue Whitney Houston. How do I know? Okay. I want to start by saying that I think that MGMA data is garbage. Yeah, I said it. Trash. If you don't know what MGMA data is, it's basically a conglomerate of pay across the US by location that is supposed to give you an idea of what a salary would be for your job. However, it's really based on Medicaid reimbursement rates. And the other reason I think it's trash is because most doctors don't negotiate. You're looking at the lowest possible amount that you could get for a position, essentially across the board. The other thing I'm going to say is that asking one colleague what their salary is also not going to work for you. And here's why. Both is why MGMA data is trash and why asking one person what they make is not a good idea. I am supportive of salary transparency 100%, but one person sharing their data with you is not enough, okay? It's very anecdotal, and here is why. One of my clients shared with me this week. She's on the interview trail. I'm so excited for her. Hey, girl, hey. And she is basically going through this process of trying to figure out how much to ask for, when to know if it's enough. And we're going to get into that. But she shared that she spoke with a colleague who is in the same position as her. And let's say, I'm not going to give the real numbers. I guess it doesn't really matter. You don't know the specialty. You don't know the person. And we're talking about salary transparency. I have to get it in my mind that sharing salary is important. This person was agreeing to make $190,000. Okay. That was supposed to be the salary. I think they work part-time. $190K, working part-time. This is a ped subspecialty. And that was the offer letter. When the actual contract came, it was for $10,000 less than the offer. But she didn't want to say anything because she was worried about ruffling feathers. Now, if you've been around here long enough, and I know that ruffling feathers is a must, okay? We can't be afraid to ruffle feathers. Most of us don't even know what that means. We just have so much discomfort at the concept that it keeps us quiet. It keeps us silent in cases like this. My brain is judging this woman. It is. I try to stay judgment free, but I am, because $10,000 is a lot of money. And I'm just wondering what it takes for you to then say something. What would have been the threshold? Anyway, I get it, right? Like conceptually, I get it that most people are feeling that they're so grateful just to get a job offer, to be chosen. That is a remnant of the traumas of medical school and residency, where matching was what made you feel like any job opportunity is a good one. You just have to take what you can get. You can make it work. We have that attitude as a residual from our training. And so really, I shouldn't judge this woman. I had the same philosophy coming out, right? I had the same philosophy, and I had a really hard time even when I conceptualized my match interviews, because I was like, how am I convincing anybody when I don't even barely believe in myself? I am beat down from the medical training system. So if you're this person, or you've made a similar decision to not say anything, even though you've noticed a discrepancy, like, just forgive yourself, okay? Honestly, these things are like I said, remnants, their trauma responses. So the goal now, though, is to heal from that and be $10,000 richer or more. Actually, more, because they probably already paying at the bottom of their budget. If you have colleagues like this, or if you are like this, your salary data is not representative of good, comparable, fair pay. And that is why I say MGMA data is garbage. Asking one colleague what they make is garbage. You should ask that colleague if they negotiated for sure and if they were able to get more money. That kind of gives you at least a little bit more information as to how much more you could increase your ask by. The other people I want to address before we get into it is these people that will literally say to you when you ask for a certain amount, they not going to pay you that. They ain't going to pay you because they felt like they couldn't get paid. This limiting thought is the one that really gets my goat, because people want to put limits on you based on the limits they have placed on themselves. Oh no, girl, break the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I plan to get paid. Okay? I can't just be around people that are like, they're not going to pay you, just adding doubts to my already doubting mind. I don't need that. With friends like that, who needs enemies? We could be rich together, but you won't let us be great because you got something negative to say. It's annoying, okay? These are the same people that y'all want to get data from? Nah, absolutely not, okay? So let's really talk about salary calculations. A salary is based on so many things. The role and responsibilities, the schedule, regular schedule, call schedule, how much other benefits they're giving you. Are they doing, is it a 1099 or a W-2? Which means, are you getting health insurance, malpractice insurance, any of the fringe benefits, right? Retirement, CME, professional development, transportation. Like there's just so many things that they are paying for or could be paying for. You want to know all of that before you decide whether or not them paying you $200,000 is enough. $200,000 sounds great. I'm not going to lie. I didn't grow up with $200,000 even in my preview, okay? First generation American. That sounded like a lot of money till I met student loan debt. And then I was like, oh, that's not enough money. But it's so important not to be glamorized by a dollar amount, because if it's $200,000 as a W-2 where they're also paying for all of your insurances, benefits, professional development, maybe they're giving some other bonuses, whatever, maybe that would be great. But that $200,000 is not the same $200,000 you would make as a 1099 when you have to pay for the insurance, for the CME, for your vacation days, for your sick days. You don't get paid on those days when you don't work. And I don't have a problem with not getting paid on my vacation days. I'm 1099. I just know that I need to ask for more money because my costs are different. My expenses are different as a 1099 than as a W-2. I also get more tax benefits. So I think in the end, for me, 1099 is way more beneficial than a W-2. And I think with W-2s, they have a propensity to just keep adding on tasks to your already overflowing plate. And you feel bad because you're a salaried employee. I don't feel bad anymore. But those are two different things. Those are not the same 200K. So when I say to you, don't just look at a number, this is what I mean. What are they paying you for? If you're a W-2 making $200,000, but they expect you to also do call 2 weeks out the month, every month for the whole year, that's additional hours. That's not just FTE, because they're not even counting that as part of your patient-facing time, right? They're not even counting that. So that's still not the same $200,000 as a different W-2 employee who maybe only has call once every 2 months, once every quarter. Those are not equitable salaries. So when you're asking your homies what they get paid, which I strongly encourage you to do, make sure you're also asking these additional questions. What are they getting paid to do? How much extra work are they doing? Are they expected to do research, and professional, say, QI projects and mentor the med students and teach the residents, and what never stops. What is that money for? That's what you need to know. Don't rush to sign an agreement if you don't know any of these things. Okay? Literally, it's not an Apple agreement. You can't just sign and take it back. You can't take it back. There are definitely absolute ways to get out of a contract, and you should definitely get a good transition plan, which we talk about in this Any Day Negotiator container, how to transition out of a job without the penalties of some of these contracts. Make sure that you are signing with a good, clear understanding of what you're getting paid for. Don't just look at the overall number. Don't just start calculating how much money you're going to get in the paycheck. If you're going to get that new purse, what's the vacation you're going on? No. We got to know if I'm getting equitable pay, reasonable pay for my position, for my experience, for all the things I'm bringing to the table. I've talked before on soft skills, right? So of course, your skills are clinical things, but there's also some soft skills. Maybe you have some leadership skills. Maybe you're trained or certified in something extra. Maybe you're just really good on making a team cohesive. That's an important. Maybe there's just ways that you contribute to a work environment that other people don't know how to do. There are other things that should be on your resume, that should be in your mind when you're thinking about what you're worth. People love to say this, know your worth. That's what we're talking about. What is special about you? What makes you different from the other employee? Why do you deserve those things? Those are things you need to also have in your mind, because we are real good at talking ourselves out of the ask. But all of this information just makes you feel more certain about how to do the thing, how to ask, how to make that calculation. What does that look like? Now, if you are a specific type of doctor and you have a specific type of experience, you're going to a specific region, you want to do hospitalist versus outpatient, part-time versus full-time, those are all nitty-gritty components that I would happily discuss with you in the Any Day Negotiator container. So each of you is going to have a different thing. How much you want to get paid when you're locums versus 1099 versus W-2, right? Making that calculation for yourself, being able to know the numbers, being able to understand the value that you're providing, that they should be paying you for, very individual. But you start here. You start with the understanding of generally what people are making, if they negotiated for that amount, what the job is asking of you, what are those components you even really want to be doing. Because let me tell you, if you want me to do a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really want to do, the answer is either no or how much am I getting paid extra for this? Okay? Because I don't want to go anywhere, be anywhere, and be pissed off that I'm spending 10 extra hours a week and I'm not even getting paid for this. Oh, heck no. Absolutely no. That's a one regret I don't want to have. It's like, they not even paying me enough for all this. I don't like that regret. That's a terrible feeling, to be doing stuff and feel like you're being taken advantage of. We don't do that around these parts. We need to be paid more. Okay? So there are things that you should absolutely not back down on when it comes to salary negotiation. I hope that really answered a lot of your questions regarding how to calculate the salary. Like I said, for each individual person, it's a little bit more complex, right? It's a little bit, and then the actual dance of asking, of what to say, of not sounding greedy, or people love to feel like I'm going to sound greedy if I ask, or ungrateful, or whatever other thought pops up in your mind for why you can't ask the thing that you want to ask for. That's what we tackle in the Any Day Negotiator. You need to know all of the components, and then it's a successful negotiation. And so many of my clients are so surprised that we go through this process and they're not getting that pushback. They're not getting the argumentative nature that they were expecting. And it was like, because we planned this. We knew what we were doing. We knew how to communicate And so I invite you all, if you're listening, if you're a regular listener of the podcast, and it's time to get what you want at work, and you just need a plan on how to do it. You just want to know what to say, what to ask for, specific things to your situation, and then you want to know how to maintain it. You want to know that when you get into the job, the terms are not going to change. If the management is bought out, that the terms are not going to change, and what to do if and when that happens to you. Or if you're in a job right now and you're like, this is not working for me and I need something different, and maybe I can have it in this job, or maybe I can't, I'm not sure. How do I determine that? There is space for you in the Any Day Negotiator Group program. All right, I got a flight to catch. I'm literally supposed to be at the airport in 6 minutes. My flight leaves in 2 hours and I'm still sitting here with y'all. I gotta go. Bye, have a good week. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast. And what I want you to do next is link us everywhere you can. Instagram at the Blk Doctor. Just become part of our collective. I want you here. Thanks. Until next time. Bye.